This week's lecture is, we're covering three things. An essay by Viktor Shklovsky, Art as Technique, published in 2017. Billy Collins' poem, Snow Day, you'll see it within the PowerPoint. There wasn't a link to that, published in 2001. And Donald Barthelme's Glass Mountain, a short story, published in 2014. So our objectives are to just work through these three pieces of material. So I think I might have spaced and said Viktor Shklovsky's Artist Technique was written in 2017. I meant 1917. If I did say 2017, I apologize. It was written, or I should say published, in 1917. Shklovsky, I am so sorry, I'm probably butchering his name all to hell. He was involved in a school of thought or theory, Russian formalism. And his ideas are that we do what we do because we're trying to create the condition of experience. And the we, of course, is artists, writers, creators. So if we use idioms, and an idiom, I'm sure you know this, but just in case you don't, an idiom is like, it's raining cats and dogs, the slip of the tongue, two birds in the hand are better than, I can't remember how many in the bush, etc. And cliches. And we aren't offering our readers anything fresh for them to engage in. So think of idioms or cliches as a sort of shadow writing. I'm sorry, my son's daycare is closed because one of the employees there tested positive for COVID. So we are we're kind of going through a little bit of a hard time. This is like going to be the third time he and I are going to have to be tested for COVID and are self-isolating. So I apologize if you hear him in the background, and I am so sorry, but that is the world we and I am living in. In any event, what we want to do as creators, as writers, as artists is offer our readers anything fresh, like not that, and I don't mean like new things necessarily, but perhaps like ordinary things, but to see them in a new and a fresh way. So one of the ways of ensuring that you can work toward that is cutting idioms and cliches, because those are not going to offer your reader anything that is new or unexpected. So those kind of expected or familiar descriptions of things make readers feel numb, and is kind of, Shuklowski says it's making readers almost turn into kind of like automatons, that they just go through the work without actually engaging in it. His idea is this concept of defamiliarization, is to make your readers, is to defamiliarize your readers, to create a fresh way for them to engage in the written word. So consider the ways you need to break out of your own habits and patterns and using cliches. So for example, think of all the ways you've heard love described and how many of them are original, new, fresh. How many of them actually pull you out of a automatic or habitual perception. So art in all of its forms is made to engage the reader, viewer, or what have you. Art is made to elicit some sort of response that may be a call to action for example, as in the work of Martin Luther King Jr. or Malcolm X. It might be created to entertain and soothe, as in Harlequin romances are romantic comedy. The romantic comedy in and of itself, according to Shklovsky, is not important, but how it makes the viewer experience the object. That is what is important. Remember, art doesn't show us what is known. This includes the romantic comedy. Rather, it shows us a new way of perceiving something, and maybe something known, even expected as in a fresh way. I'm sorry I keep using the word fresh. A way of doing this is to make the known unfamiliar and make it new. So defamiliarization, and this is an important concept to this piece of writing. Imagine if I were to ask you to write a few lines, a few images of snow. So pause this and just take some time to do that. Take even just 2 or 3 minutes and just jot down 3 images of snow. So now look at those images that you jotted down of snow. Now, you may have described snow in expected or cliched ways, like as a pillow, a blanket, a cloud, those kind of very expected ways. Or maybe you've described snow in ways that is brand new, that is innovative. What's important here is to recognize the cliche and get rid of it through revision. So this is Billy Collins' poem. It's called Snow Day, as you can see. What I want you to do is look at how he is creating a vision of an object of snow. So he's trying to get us to experience snow in an unfamiliar way. He's using defamiliarizing. He has created a new, fresh way of experiencing snow. I'm going to just quickly read it. Today we woke up to a revolution of snow, its white flag waving over everything. The landscape vanished. Not a single mouse to punctuate the blankness. And beyond these windows, the government buildings smothered, schools and libraries buried, the post office lost under the noiseless drift, the paths of trains softly blocked, the world fallen under this falling. In a while, I will put on some boots and step out like someone walking in water, and the dog will porpoise through the drifts, and I will shake a laden branch, sending a cold shower down on us both. But for now, I am a willing prisoner in this house, a sympathizer with the anarchic cause of snow. I will make a pot of tea and listen to the plastic radio on the counter, as glad as anyone to hear the news that the kitty corner school is closed, the ding-dong school closed, the all-aboard children's school closed, the hi-ho nursery school closed, along with, some will be delighted to hear, the toadstool school, the little school, Little Sparrow's nursery school, Little Stars preschool, Peas and Carrots day school, the Tom Thumb Child Center, all closed. And clap your hands, the Peanuts play school. So this is where the children hide all day. These are the nests where they letter and draw, where they put on their bright miniature jackets, all darting and climbing and sliding, all but the few girls whispering by the fence. And now I am listening hard in the grandiose silence of the snow, trying to hear what those 3 girls are plotting, what riot is afoot, which small queen is about to be brought down. So along with all the ways he's showing us the ways of it reading or engaging with snow, he's also talking about other things like this interesting kind of like the schools with their odd names. I don't know if those are made up or real. I think they're probably made up, but I don't know for sure. And we do this for, you know, two stanzas, so quite a long time. And it's like there's a sweetness to that. and this idea of glad is anyone to hear the noise that all these children are, and he's like this idea that they're hiding all day and are somehow set free, you know, nests where they letter and draw, and on this idea that their jackets are just miniature, which is interesting. And then he talks, of course, about these three girls and that there's a riot afoot and which small queen is about to be brought down, which is an interesting way to view young girls. But think of now, like, look at this revolution of snow, white flag waving over everything. This idea of landscape vanished, and like not a single mouse to punctuate the blankness. And this idea of things being smothered, buried, lost, this noiseless drift, trains that are blocked, fallen and falling, which is really beautiful. So it's really a beautiful poem that makes us see snow in a very unique and different way. So if we think about this poem and think of how it is defamiliarizing our ideas of not only like the names of schools, and notice like the alliteration and the rhythm through that section, and there's also a weird sense of the fairy tale with it. He also uses the purpose, pork voice, as a noun, as a verb. And notice that he, no, I don't, sorry, I'm talking to my son. No, I don't want you to do that, okay? Can you sit quiet until mommy's done, okay?
No, every time got it.
Yeah, no, stay at mommy's cream, okay, sweetheart? He doesn't, notice he doesn't say, no. He doesn't say rosy cheeks or winter wonderland. He uses words we wouldn't normally attribute to a snowy day or children playing outside. He doesn't use the familiar. He doesn't give us what we expect or have come to expect of snow. He avoids the cliche and the expected, allowing us to experience something new. So the last piece I want to look at is Glass Mountain by Donald Barthelme. And I've like looked up his surname and I'm seeing it pronounced like 3 or 4 different ways, so I'm not sure how he prefers it pronounced, honestly. So I not that he's ever going to see this, nonetheless I apologize. So Glass Mountain is a short story in a numbered sequence, and it creates a vision of a fairy tale hero without providing us with the concept of like a normal fairy tale hero's journey. You know, the hero climbs a skyscraper that he never calls a skyscraper, but a glass mountain. And he really relies on meta narrative, meaning he really is discussing the journey. He defamiliarizes fairy tales and the hero's quest. And it's really a very, I think it's just this wonderful, exciting story that is really dismantling and deconstructing and pulling apart and rebuilding this this idea of a hero's journey in a fairy tale. So I'm asking as you work to continue to watch for cliches, watch for familiar descriptions, think of ways of defamiliarizing the reader, watch out for idioms, quick like a bunny, slips off the tongue, raining cats and dogs, so on. And remember, those are not fresh and unique, and work towards new perceptions and the unexpected in quite possibly the very ordinary or the expected. And think of how to describe something new, unexpected. Sorry, I just keep saying the same words over and over again. I hope this finds all of you well. My son and I are getting a cold, and I'm hoping it's just a cold. I have cold. And so, yeah, I hope none of you are getting a cold or sick, and I hope you're all well and happy drinking warm tea. I have no idea why I added that last part in, but I did. All right. All the best, you guys. Bye.